At 16 years old, he was arrested, not for drugs, not for violence, but for stealing. And what his mother did next divided everyone who heard the story. His name was Ethan. At home, he was quiet. With adults, he was polite. At school, almost invisible. But online, he was someone else entirely. He curated a life filled with luxury sneakers, designer clothes, and a lifestyle he couldn't possibly afford. To keep up the illusion, he started taking things. It began with small, insignificant items. Then it escalated to phones, then wallets, till one night he was caught red-handed. Because he was a minor, his mother had options. The moment the call came, the offers started pouring in. Lawyers promised to make it all go away. Relatives offered money to smooth things over. Friends all gave the same advice. Handle it quietly. Protect your son. He's just a kid. He made a mistake. Ethan expected that. He sat in the cold, sterile room at the police station, not with fear, but with a sense of inevitability. He was just waiting for his mom to come and rescue him, like always. When his mother finally arrived, she didn't argue. She didn't cry. She didn't beg the officers for leniency. She walked in with a calm resolve that chilled the room. She looked the officer straight in the eye and said, with a voice that didn't waver, "He stole. He knew what he was doing." She paused, then delivered the final blow. "I want him to face the consequences." Ethan's face drained of all color. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. He whispered, "Mom," but she wouldn't even look at him. It was as if she was looking right through him. Her decision was as swift as it was shocking. She refused to pay the fine. She refused to call a lawyer. She refused to pull any strings or use any connections to lessen the blow. Instead, she picked up the pen and signed the papers. Community service. A formal warning that would stay on his record. And, worst of all, mandatory face-to-face meetings with the very people he had stolen from. The backlash was immediate. Friends and family called her heartless, a bad mother. Whispers followed her everywhere. How could you do this to your own child? Through it all, she said nothing. She simply bore the judgment and let her son face his. Weeks later, the moment of reckoning arrived. Ethan stood in a small, quiet room facing the man whose wallet he had stolen. His hands were shaking so badly he had to clench them into fists. He couldn't lift his eyes from the floor, managed to force out an apology. And for the first time, it wasn't because his mother was there, forcing him. It was because, as he stood before the man whose life he had disrupted, the reality of his actions finally hit him. It hurt. That night, he finally broke the silence between him and his mother. He asked her the one question that had been burning inside him. Why did Antu save me? She looked at him, her expression soft but firm, and answered quietly, "Because if I save you from this now, I won't be there to save you when it's something much, much worse." Ethan finished his community service. He stayed out of trouble. He slowly, painstakingly started to change his life. Or maybe he would have changed anyway. Maybe the scare of getting caught was enough. No one really knows for sure. So I have to ask you, was this good parenting? Or was it far too harsh? Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.